What do you think?
Yeah, good.
You like it? Yeah? What do you think, huh?
I like it.
You do? We're going to have people talk to us right there. What do you think?
Yeah.
Is that going to be fun?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah. We got to wait for him to come on.
My mom?
Nope. No, don't show your food. That's gross. See, people can see you showing your food. Don't do that. That's yucky.
Okay.
You're silly.
That's me.
That is you, isn't it?
And that's you.
It is. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. As you can see, I have a helper today. And what is your name?
Bye-bye.
Ray Ray. We call her Ray Ray, but her real name is Raylan. And she is here with me today because what is your mama doing today?
I saw her.
But what is she gonna do today?
She's at the store.
No, she's at the hospital. And what is she doing at the hospital?
So I don't know.
You don't know? Tell him what she's gonna be doing.
I don't know.
What's she gonna be doing?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, today your mama is gonna have baby Lake. Yeah, she is, isn't she? So Raylan is here with me today because she is, well, my sister Courtney is having her baby today, and it's gonna be baby Lake. And are you licking the salt off of that? So Ray is my helper today. So hopefully she doesn't get too restless for us. Hey, T. Teresa. How are you? Thanks for stopping on in. Let's see here. We'll give everybody a few more minutes to... We'll give everybody till about 11:05. Oh, thank you. Yep, she came to me last night. That's fine. Are you going to eat it now that you licked all the salt off of it?
No.
No, I figured as much. Oh, Ray. What am I going to do with you?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. You're silly. Well, let's see here.
Shaking my head.
You are shaking your head. Do you like seeing yourself on the screen? You like seeing yourself up there? You do?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, how old are you?
2.
You're 2? Look, what are you doing? That camera's down here, silly. Look. You want to sit down? You want to sit down?
Yeah. Ow.
Oh, sorry. Did it hit your knee? Ouchie. Good afternoon, Sutton's Days. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And so today's topic is going to be about calving when you have cattle. And I figured this was an appropriate topic because we're going to be getting into that here pretty soon. And hopefully it'll all go well. And yeah. So, okay, so some updates for you guys. Happy Halloween, everybody. Can you say Happy Halloween to everybody? Happy Halloween! Miss Raylan and Cassidy, Caitlin, and Riley are My Little Ponies. I completely forgot to put those pictures up, but they are, Miss Raylan is Applejack, Riley is Rarity, Cassidy is Twilight Sparkle, and Caitlin is, let's see, who is Caitlin this year? Which pony is she? Fluttershy. There we go, Fluttershy. Yeah, Fluttershy. And I don't know if you all watched another live stream of mine. I crocheted some hats And then we've got all their costumes together. So I will probably do a short video for you guys and show you what their Halloween costumes look like. But anyway, so happy Halloween to everybody. And also, you are so silly. My back is feeling a lot better. It is by no means 100% yet, but I am able to do a lot more than I have been since last week. So Ryan's shoulder is healing really well after his surgery. He has full range of motion back, and he also is allowed to lift 10 pounds now. So that's kind of a big feat. He has been trying to obey the doctor's orders. I've been trying to make sure that he does. So anyway, and also I wanted to remind everybody that when I reach 2,000 subscribers, I will have a contest. And
Where's Dick?
Oh, he's at his house. Grandpa Dick is at his house. When I reach 2,000 subscribers, I'll have a contest, and the winner, I will make something for the winner. So I think I was at 1630 something last I checked. So anyway, also I have playlists set up if you guys don't want to worry about wanting to watch a specific topic. You can just go straight to that playlist and get that done. So all right, pictures. We're gonna do pictures. I took a few pictures this week for you guys, and I was able to get some of those uploaded here. Let me do that. You are being silly. Are you silly?
No.
Here's that picture I was talking about last week of Ziva. She photobombed Jax. I thought it was kind of funny. Oh, thank you, T. Teresa. There's Miss Ziva photobombing Jax. And then out in my garden, my peas are doing fabulously well. Yeah, they are putting on so many peas, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to can them or whatever, because Brian goes out and just picks some of the big juicy ones and just eats them, and it's like, well, okay, I think we're just going to have fresh eaten peas instead of being able to preserve them for anything. So there's the pea plants. Don't touch the screen, please. Don't touch it, okay, honey? If you touch it, then it'll make it go dark, and then Aunt Tuffy will just be all kinds of, it'll just be really weird, okay? Aunt Tuffy's not technological. All right, so I wanted to show you also my jalapeno plants. They are still doing 100. I've got a few carrots in there, and then I just planted some garlic. This is the bed where I used my homemade compost in this one, so I planted my garlic in there as well. Those jalapeno plants are just being champions. They are still producing. They still have blooms on them. And we are November 1st. We're into the 1st of November. What's up, baby? You want to hold me? Well, okay. All right. I got you. You good?
Yeah.
All right. So there's the jalapeno plants. They are doing awesome sauce. Oh, dang it. I didn't get that picture. Okay, so Brian and I went to a sale. What kind of sale was it, Ray? Do you remember? It was a farm auction. And they had 71 sliding glass window doors, single pane, and we got those really, really cheap, and it was kind of awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to build another greenhouse with them. So I will try next week to get you that picture and just show you the stack that we got. It was a massive amount. But this picture you're seeing here is Miss Ziva. She was standing in some weeds, and she happened to look over at me, and I thought it was kind of a cool picture. She's getting really big. She's a little over a year old now, and she has grown exponentially. Her training is going well. She listens pretty darn good, and for the most part, she's a good dog. So there's Miss Ziva. So anyway. Okay, so, here, Ray, I gotta switch you over to the other side. Alright, so the book that I have for you guys this week, keeping in the theme, calving, is going to the book, and I've already spoke about this one, but it's the one that I use for any references that I may need to have, and is The Essential Guide to Calving. It's by Heather Smith Thomas, and it is a very, very, very good book. It covers pretty much everything that you would want to know. Yes, that's a cow book, isn't it?
And
About
baby
calving.
cow, a baby cow.
Yes. And what colors are those baby cows? What color is that baby cow?
White.
And what other color?
And brown.
Okay, I'll give you brown. It kind of looks brown from here, but it's red. All right, so there is the book. I got mine off of Amazon. Hello, Green Gables Homestead. How are you? Okay, so there's the book. And let's get this back over here. You guys are seeing everything okay and hearing me okay, correct? I just want to make sure that you're not buffering too badly. It says that my stream is going good. So, hopefully that is the case. Hey, Ray.
What?
Are you going to be a big sister?
Yeah.
You are? What's your baby brother's name going to be?
Black.
Lake.
Black.
In case you guys missed it in the beginning, I have Miss Ray here today with me because my sister is busy having my newest little, actually my only nephew, Mr. Lake. So she came last night, and Mr. Lake should be born here soon. I've been waiting for updates. Last update, she was kind of getting with it. Her water broke and all that good stuff. So that's why I have my helper today. I hope she's not too much of a distraction. Hello, Brenda.
Hello, Brenda.
You're such a helper, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, a few things to have when you are going to be getting into calving, or if you have cows. One thing.
My cows run away.
Your cows run away? Oh no. So, one thing that you're going to want to have is a set of OB chains. And you don't have to have these. Binder twine works in a pinch if you need it. It just helps because those calves' legs are really slippery, and you want to be able to have some way to pull if you need to. So, OB chains are kind of a great thing. Now, if you're going to use OB chains whenever you are pulling a calf, there is a specific way that you are going to want to place these on the legs of the calf, because you can injure the calf if you do not. So, let me show you here. This is kind of the way that you're going to want to position the chains on the calf, so that way you won't cause any injury to the calf. Yeah, this is how you're going to want to position them on the leg. All right, now this next one is an actual picture of the chains being used, and this is how it will look on the calf. So just right behind the dew claws, and then, please stop, and then right above, Ray, stop please. Now, if you notice in this picture, this calf is actually a breech calf. So, anyway.
Blood.
It is blood. Yes. You are so observant. Okay, so that's how you properly put on chains if you're going to be using them. Now, if you have to use binder twine, which is I've had to do in the past, you want to also put them on in the same fashion, so that way you're not restricting blood flow and damaging some of the nerves and the things in there. So, oh, hello, mother of many horses. How are you? Glad you can make it. No, that's a calf, not a horsey. Okay, so another thing that you are going to want, or not want, but another thing that you can have that can assist you in in calving if you are having a difficult time. This is a calf puller, and it takes all the work out of it for you. However, if you have never used one of these before, you want to have somebody train you how to use them, because you can cause a lot of damage really quickly if you do not know how to use one of these properly. So this is a calf puller, and I also have a picture of how they are used. Now this is just a dummy cow. It's kind of the best one that I could find, but as you can see, the back of the puller goes up on the back of the cow, and then you'll have a strap, or in that case, the one that you've seen has the little bars, and that will hook up over the top of the cow, keeping it in the proper alignment for the calf to come out and for the cow, so that way there's nothing pinched or something. Everything can kind of come out as planned. So those are good tools to have. Let's see here. I don't think I have any other pictures of. Okay. All right. So those are two things that you can use that will aid in getting a calf out if it is stuck, or if you are having to assist a heifer that is having troubles or something like that. Like I said, the calf puller, only use that if you've been shown how to do it by a veterinarian or somebody that is a seasoned veteran at using that kind of thing. So anyway, some other old things, some things, I can't talk today, sorry guys. Some other things that you would come in handy that and the things I'm listing are things that I use or have on hand usually all the time. So I'm trying to talk. Are some old clean towels, a heating pad if it's cooler weather whenever you are calving, a tuber, which is, I do have a picture of that for you guys. It is a way to get the nutrients into a calf if it is not wanting to nurse, or if it happens to get scours. And scours it can be very dangerous. They will get dehydrated very quickly, and you will not have a live calf for very long. Here we go. So that is the tuber. You'll put the milk there in the bottle, and now placement down the throat is kind of a learned thing. So if you're not sure how to do it, you need to have somebody show you how to do it, or somebody walk you through it. It's not very hard. You just want to make sure that you have your hand on the trachea of the calf, and as you slide it down, you want to make sure that the tube is going down the correct, not the windpipe, but the trachea down into the stomach. So anyway, you want to make sure that it's going down the throat, not the windpipe. Okay. So anyway, there's that. And like I said, if you've never tubed a calf before, you probably want to have somebody show you how to do it the first time around. And it usually requires the help of two people. If the calf is not fighting you to put the tube in, then you probably, the calf is needing something severely and quickly. So another thing to have is some electrolyte powder that you can mix up, some colostrum, yeah, a small bucket, halter, iodine, and some hobbles. If you're out in the field and you can't get the cow up to where you can work her easily, some hobbles come in handy, because if she lays down on you and allows you to put the hobbles on, that will keep her from running away from you, and she's kind of forced to stay where you need her to be. And the halter, if you can get the halter on her and get her tied up to something, that helps quite a bit too. Let's see here. And that's usually some of the things that I will try and keep on hand around here for calving situations. Let's see here. How often do I have to intervene? Mother of many horses. Not very often. 90% of the time you'll just go out to check your cows and you'll have a calf laying on the ground. Usually you don't have to help at all. But if you do, kind of knowing a few things will help you out quite a bit. But I'm going to talk about some of those things. Also, if you have issues calving. So, okay, so some signs that she will be close to calving for you. Her vulva will swell. It will become very loose and just kind of floppy. Her udder will be engorged when she's filling up with colostrum. It will tighten, and a lot of times with heifers, it's very, very tight. The calf will drop into its birth position, and if you keep an eye on your cows quite a bit, you'll be able to notice that the cow's belly is dropping, and that she looks a little bit more gaunt. She will lose her mucus plug. The mucus plug is just a kind of self-explanatory. It's just a thin string of mucus that will come out of her vulva, and you may or may not see it, or if she's laying down, there'll be a pool of it behind her. Usually, once they lose their mucus plug, calving is going to be coming pretty darn soon. Also, they have ligaments at the beginning of at the top of their tail head. Now, on beef cattle, it's a little harder to tell, but on dairy cattle, it's really easy to tell. They'll start relaxing and become hollow, and usually when that happens, you'll be having a calf within the next 24 hours or so. So if you happen to notice that the ligaments are loosening, then you're going to be having a calf really, really soon. So those are some signs that you can look for pre-calving. Now, calving. Let's see here. There's 3 stages to the calving. The first stage, the cow is going to be restless. She's going to be kicking at her belly. She's going to pace. She may or may not have her tail stuck out. They usually have it stuck straight out normally. She will be separated from the rest of the herd. They usually like to go find a quiet spot to do that. So if you go check your herd and you're missing a cow, more than likely she's either calving or had a calf. So that's kind of the first stage. She's just restless. And then you'll see her bag of water. There'll be a bag of water hanging out before the actual calf comes out most of the time. Let's see. The next phase is the delivery phase. And at this point, when you are in the delivery phase, you should see 2 front feet come out first, followed by a nose, and then the head, and then the rest of the calf, obviously. Now, if you see 2 back feet, I will get into that here in just a minute. That means the calf is breech, and most of the time you have to assist with that. So delivery, excuse me, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you, the first stage of labor can last anywhere from 2 to 6 hours, depending on the cow. I've had cows that don't show any signs of the pre-labor, and they just skip straight over and just start the delivery process. And then the delivery of the calf, now this depends on the cow. Most seasoned cows, older cows, it'll take them less than an hour to get that calf out. Heifers can be quite a bit longer, as long as she's making steady progress throughout the hour. It can take up to 1 to 2 hours. Heifers can take a little longer, and as long as that heifer doesn't have a breech calf, it'll be okay. Now, obviously, if she is just exhausted and can't, and she's been straining and struggling for a while, you're going to want to intervene and help her get that calf out. But as long as the calf is not breech, it should be okay, because that umbilical cord is still allowing that calf to receive nutrients and things like that. Now, the reason, if it's a breech calf, you're going to want to get the calf out is because if they're breech, the umbilical cord is compromised and it's cutting off blood flow to that calf, and you can have some serious complications if the calf is breech. So any 1 to 2 hours is normal. Heifers can take a little bit longer, first-time heifers. So, and then the third phase is going to be the passing or expelling the placenta. That can take anywhere from 2 to 8 hours normally. Now, sometimes a cow will not expel her placenta right away, and it will take a few days. Normally, I will wait at least 3 days or so before I'll call the vet in to see. There's not really much that they can do. You do not try to assist the placenta coming out. It is still attached to the capillaries inside the cow, and if you rip those capillaries, the cow can bleed to death. So do not assist the placenta in coming out. It is one thing that you will do more harm than good. Now, a lot of times, if you if the placenta hasn't come out in the first day or two, you can tie some kind of a weight to the placenta that's hanging out. Usually we'll find some kind of rock or something that it's not a lot of heavy weight, but it'll add a little bit of extra weight and kind of help those capillaries let go of that placenta and things like that. So, oh, thank you, Mother of Many Horses. I have to keep her entertained. So, anyway, okay, so those are the 3 stages of labor. And, okay, so a normal birth, excuse me, a normal birth, you're going to, like I said, see the 2 feet first, followed by a nose or tongue. As long as the tongue is not purple, you're doing okay. Now, on black calves, you can look at the underside of the tongue normally. They usually, you can tell by the underside of the tongue. But don't freak out if the tongue's a little swollen. It's okay. And don't freak out if the tongue is sticking out. It's all right. It's normal. It's normal for that to happen. After that, the head will come out. Once the head comes out, everything else comes out pretty darn quick. It's the hardest part to get the head out. So, now that is a normal birth. And as the chest comes through the birth canal, it's going to be compressed, which causes a lot of the amniotic fluids to be released, and that way the calf can take a nice full breath once it has come out of the cow. Once you're about once the shoulders are kind of entering the birth canal, that's when the umbilical cord is going to start getting pulled tight and it's going to start severing. So once the cow, it's kind of a simultaneous process. Once the calf is, the lungs are, the chest is expelled, the calf can start breathing on its own, and it doesn't really need the umbilical cord anyway. So that's why whenever you have a breech calf, it's very, very important to get that calf out as quickly as you can, because the blood flow to the calf has already been compromised because of the way the calf is positioned, and 2, the more she pushes, the more fluid she will be pushing into the calf's lungs, and the harder it will be for that calf to breathe. So placement of the calf is kind of critical, and a lot of cows can get those breech calves out sometimes on their own, especially if they're older cows. Now, a heifer will more than likely have a lot more trouble doing that. So anyway, let's see here. Okay, so I was going to show you what they're going to be looking like here. Okay, hang on, let me find it here. All right, so these are 2 of the most common positions that you're going to see whenever a cow is ready to calve. The picture on the left, that is the normal position. That's the position you want the calf to be born in. And yeah, sometimes one of the front legs can be behind the calf's head. You have to reach in and pull one of the legs forward so that way the calf can be born normally. There are a lot of different wacky positions that calves can find themselves in, and it would take me forever to kind of show them all to you guys, so you can kind of look those up, some of the birthing positions, and then if you get a good book, then it'll show you how to correct. That book that I showed you earlier, the Calving Essential Guide to Calving, it shows you how to correct a lot of the positions. Now, as you can see on the right, that's the breech calf, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about with the umbilical cord. As that calf, once you get right before that last rib, once that calf gets to that position in the birth canal, that's really going to be compromising that calf, the blood flow for that calf. So, and the umbilical cord will start severing, so you want to make sure you get that calf out as soon as possible. Now, if you have a breech calf, you need to make sure you reach in and make sure that that tail is between the calf's legs. Sometimes the tail can be up over the calf's back, and that can cause the birth canal to be ripped, and that will also be very, very bad for the cow. She can bleed to death pretty easily. Hi, Grizz270. How are you doing? Thanks for coming or stopping by. Okay, so those are some of the placements that's the two most common placements for calves. All right. Now, if you're going to have a set of twins, this is the placement of the twins. So normally, the first twin will be born in the normal position, and the second twin will be born in the breech position. So, and sometimes they can... You want a ponytail? Okay. And sometimes, very rarely, the twins will try to come out at the same time. And if you are assisting in one of those births, I have not had the pleasure of assisting in a twin birth where both were trying to come out at the same time. But what you'll do there is you'll just gently push one of the twins back far enough so that the first twin can be born. It's not too hard. Usually, cows are pretty easy when you're having to get up in and help and assist because there's quite a bit of room. Now, when you get into sheep and goats and things, there's not quite a bit of room, as much room. One other thing I forgot to mention before I started all this, if you're going to have to assist, make sure you remove all of your jewelry and watches from your hands and arms. You do not want it, because everything is slippery when this happens. Everything's slippery and messy, and if your rings are, a little bit loose, you will lose them. And that's just not always fun to lose some. So, yeah, remove all watches, jewelry, anything you don't want anything you don't want to get messed up. I've delivered calves. What are you doing? Don't do that, please. Where people forget, and I'll be like, you probably want to fix that so that we don't have to search for that later. Okay, so sorry, I'm looking at some of the comments here. Grizz, are you causing problems? Don't do that. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, so now, like I said before, the OB chains and the calf puller really come in handy, and binder twine works in a pinch. I have been to many calf deliveries where binder twine is all I've had. Please stop. Thank you. And please stop. And it does work. You kind of use with what you have, and I've been to some where you don't have any of that stuff, and so you improvise. Calves are very slippery when they're born, so especially if you're trying to pull, the legs are usually the only thing you have to pull on, so, and it's just like trying to hold a greased pig, really. I mean, you can't, there's not a lot of traction going on there, so, anyway. Okay, so, troubled births. Like I said, they can present themselves in any way, shape, or form. I've seen a calf present all 4 legs at once. That one, the vet ended up having to do a C-section on that cow, which that was my very first C-section to watch, and it was really cool. It was really fun, actually. They kind of let me help, so I was excited. That kind of stuff doesn't bother me. I actually like assisting with calving, so. And if you're not sure the position of the calf, you know, you can get your hand up in there and feel. If you only see one leg, you can get up in there and feel for the other leg. If it's not too far behind, just kind of gently pull that up forward where it's kind of even with the other leg, and that'll help the calf come out of the birth canal a little bit easier. The most challenging position that I've ever had to deal with was 2 front feet. I reached in and could not find the head. The calf's head was back behind itself. And so what I had to do was shove the calf back in, get that head pulled back forward, and that is a job, let me tell you what. I already gave you a ponytail and you took it out, so no. That was fun. It was very challenging getting that head pulled back around. And once we did that, the calf came out just fine, and was everything was hunky-dory. So that was a very, oh, I broke it. I'm sorry, Ray. You're going to have to find another rubber band. So that was, it was really weird reaching up in there and not being able to find the head. So it's Halloween. Your keyboard is possessed. Hey, there you go. I'm sorry. I broke it. I'm sorry. You want to come up here and look? Here. Yeah, you can see yourself. Oh, you're getting heavy, Ray. Okay. What are we going to do with your hair? Your hair is something else.
I want that flower.
Okay, get it. Okay, so another thing that can happen. Please don't do that, Raylan. Another thing that can happen is called hip lock, and that's where the calf is stuck in the hips, and the hips get stuck in when it's starting to come into the birth canal. When the hips get starting to come in the birth canal, and so what you can do for that is you can kind of push the calf just a little bit farther back so that you're not pressure on pressure, and then rotate the calf a quarter turn, and then it should come on out. So hip lock is very easy to correct. Went offline. Oh no, am I offline? Am I back on, guys? Let me know. Frustrating. Let me know when I'm back online so you guys know. What's the last thing you guys remember me talking about if I went offline? I hope I wasn't just talking to myself. Let me know when you see me again, guys. If we all yell at the same time, maybe she'll hear us. I see your comments. Yeah, as soon as you guys see me do that. Okay, I'm back. Okay, what's the last thing you guys remember seeing or me talking about? Because I was kind of talking about something important. That people need to, it's something that's important. Or did I not get interrupted too badly, I hope? Can somebody let me know what I was talking about last? I know we're on a delay. Be gentle with the pages, please, baby. I broke a rubber band. Okay, so I'm just going to re-talk about what I just talked about, just in case you guys didn't see it. One other thing that you can get into is called hip lock. And that's where the calf's hips are meeting the birth canal, the beginning of the birth canal, and they get stuck. And the easiest way to remedy that, that's something that's a little bit easier to correct. Okay, I was just starting a new topic. Okay, that's what I was just starting, was the hip lock. What you do in that situation is you kind of push the calf back just a little bit and turn it a quarter turn, and then you can proceed to pull the calf back, or pull it the rest of the way out if need be. Sometimes if you're not with the cow when this happens, my sister actually just had that happen to one of her cows, and they weren't there at the time, and it happened to be a heifer. They came home to check, and she was missing. They went to find her. Both cow and calf had passed away, and they had just seen her the day before when they did, they do nightly cow checks, and it was just really sad. But hip lock can and does happen, and it can be very deadly. So, anyway, so yeah. Now, another thing that can happen, if you're having to pull a calf that the cow needs assistance or whatnot, as you're pulling, you only want to pull when she's contracting. If you pull the calf out too fast, then you can cause kind of a vacuum when the calf is coming out, and you don't want that to happen because you can cause uterine prolapse. Now, I'm going to show you a picture of what a uterine prolapse looks like. So if you guys are a little squeamish, you might want to look away for a minute. I only have it up there just briefly. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I wanted to show you. So uterine prolapse. It's not pretty, and it looks almost like oh, I don't have it on here. Did I not put it on here? Oh, that's no cool. Well, I guess if you want to see something like that, you guys can go and look it up. Uterine prolapse. I thought I had it on there. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't had to deal with a uterine prolapse in a long time, and that is something that you need to call your vet, and that's something that they need to fix. Because if you try to do it yourself, there is a major blood vessel in there, and if you rupture that, it's an artery actually, if you rupture that, the cow will bleed out in seconds. Your cow's gone. And sometimes vets can do it on accident. It's something that's a very, very tricky procedure to do. So please do not try to put a uterus back in on your own. It is survivable for the cow. Lots of antibiotics are involved, but you want to make sure you get your vet involved on that one. Having your vet's phone number programmed into your phone is very, 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 very good. I have mine programmed in. I finally found a vet around in the area that I really like, and we have a good relationship, and anything I need, she's usually right there. And anyway, so, and my uncle had a cow with a fever and was giving her a garden hose enema to cool her off. My girlfriend, who was a city slicker, walked behind the cow and sneezed. Yuck. And I don't know if you've ever heard this, Grizz, but you never stand behind a cow in the springtime. when the green grass just starts to freshen, because if you do and they cough, it's not pretty. She never went out with me again. I can imagine. Yeah. Yeah. That's another bit of advice. Never stand behind a cow in the springtime. Because when they start eating that fresh green grass, their manure is extremely runny. And if they cough, you will get splattered if you're standing behind them. So, I have some more. Yeah, you might be a farmer if you have more vet numbers than people doctor phone numbers in your phone. And that's true. I do. Yeah, mother of many horses. That's very, very true. So, yeah, having a vet that you can rely on is very good. Sometimes it takes going through a few of them to find one that you like. So, all right. So you got your calf. You figured out the birthing position. You've got the calf out. The calf's alive. And maybe the calf is, the very first thing you want to do is make sure that there's a clear airway. If the airway is clear, the calf can start breathing. Usually the calf will, do that on his own. They'll, shoot amniotic fluid out their nose. They'll be blowing it out themselves, and that's totally normal. What are we talking about here? You knew that one too? Yeah. I have never had that happen to me, but I've seen it happen, and it's not cool. We've had to actually I've worked cows before in the spring, and this poor vet tech was out helping, and there's a partition. It was at my dad's house, and there's a partition between where the cow is and the chute that you can walk in between. And she happened to be walking between that partition at a very, very bad time. Needless to say, she had to change out of the jumpsuit she had on and into another one. But anyway, I'm getting off track. So first thing you want to do is make sure the airway is clear. A lot of times if they're not responding too well, after you've cleared the airway and made sure that there's not a lot, you can stick your hand in their mouth and clear the airway. Watch out, they have back teeth. They will hurt. I've been bitten before by a newborn calf, and it does not feel good. What, baby? What you doing?
I need a drink.
Here, you go. Here's your drink. Anyway, so make sure that the airways are clear. If the calf is not responding, thank you. If the calf is not responding, take a piece of straw if you have it, or anything that's a little bit abrasive, not too bad. Stick it up the calf's nose and kind of swizzle it a little bit. That'll kind of trigger the calf to want to shake its head and expel anything that's right there. So that will kind of kick it into gear if the calf is just not wanting to respond too quickly. If the calf still is not responding at that point, you need to make sure that there's still a heartbeat. You can do that by placing your hand on the chest and running it along the side, and you should eventually be able to feel a heartbeat. If you cannot feel a heartbeat on the chest, check down by the umbilical cord and see in that area if there's a heartbeat or a pulse. If it's very faint, at this point, you're going to have to start resuscitation on the calf. There's another thing that you can do also. Usually their eyes are open when they're born. You can check the eye reflexes by touching the eye, pushing in on it a little bit, and if the calf blinks, you know the calf is still alive. Now, if they have that 1,000-yard stare and you know that the calf's not alive anymore, and you can't find a heartbeat, sometimes you can bring them back, but not very often. Now, the breech calf that we had last year, I did have to do mouth to snout on that little sucker, and that is pretty gross. But it was worth it to save the calf's life. So you'll breathe, you'll cover one nostril, You'll breathe into the other nostril just a little bit, and then you'll just do some chest compressions to expel the air. I only had to do that a couple times, and I got the calf to breathing on its own. You can also, if you have your towels with you, don't do that, please. That's not nice. Kind of stimulate, just really work that calf over, stimulate it to want to wake up and become in the land of the living. So really stimulating a calf helps out quite a bit. Let's see here. Yeah, I already have rub the chest vigorously to stimulate the calf to want to sit up and expel anything in its lungs. Okay, so the calf, once the calf's breathing, it'll lay there for a little while. It depends on the calf. Usually they are up within the first hour. Usually they're up within the first hour on their new legs. And you want to make sure that the calf nurses within the first 2 hours is very optimal. Every hour that passes is their ability to absorb the antibodies in the colostrum goes down dramatically. And then they need to have their colostrum within the first 24 hours. After the first 12 hours, they lose 50% of their ability to absorb the antibodies in the colostrum. So after the first 12 hours, half of that ability to absorb those antibodies is gone. So you want to make sure, that's why it's nice to have colostrum on hand. Every time my dairy cow calves, I have a video on it too where I save the colostrum, and I bag it up into quart sections, and then I freeze it. So every year I get a replenishment of colostrum. So, and it only stays good usually in the freezer for about a year, but you can also get the ready-made stuff that's not as good, but in a pinch, if that's all you have. If you can milk the cow, I've had to do that before too. That's always fun. If she's in a head chute, you can do it pretty easily, but if you're out in the field, it gets a little tricky sometimes. So that's where calves come from. I thought it was a giant stork that brought them. Oh, that'd have to be one giant stork to bring one of them little suckers. Anyway, so there you go. Also, sometimes, especially with heifers, it may take a little while for the cow to get up. Sometimes they can be paralyzed for a little while. There are nerves that run along there, and sometimes if you have a larger calf, those nerves can be pinched, and the cow sometimes will have a little bit of trouble standing back up. It's okay, it's normal for that to last for a little while, but if it lasts very long, you want to make sure that that you get your vet out and see what she can do. Maybe give her a little bit of steroids or something like that to help her get up. So anyway, so that's kind of some of the things that I had for you about calving. If you have any questions, feel free to ask either in the box below, or if you guys that are watching live have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm not an expert at calving. I've been present in a lot of calving situations and seen a lot of different things happen, and I'm pretty confident that I can deliver a calf that is deliverable without a C-section. In most cases, you got to be able to feel around and know what you're feeling whenever you are feeling around, when you have to get up inside the cow. And it helps if you can kind of close your eyes and be able to feel what part you're holding on to. Ray, be careful, please, honey. Hey, no, please don't take the books off the shelf. You can play with the ones you've already got out, please. Can you do that for Aunt Tuffy? Can you play with the ones you already have out? Those are Aunt Tuffy's books. Thank you. Anyway. Well, I try, Mother of Many Horses. I was up last night. I was watching Big Bear, the Insomnia Club last night. So, and I was working on all this while I was watching. So, Yes. Is it Karina? I hope I just didn't butcher your name too badly. Yep, I've stuck my arm in places that probably shouldn't. But if it helps get that calf out alive or helps keep the cow alive if the calf's already gone, then I'm gonna do it. I don't care how gross it is. Grizz, you're ornery. The best way to get a calf's heart beating is to show it a picture of Hillary. But sometimes I have to run 5 miles to bring the calf back. Oh, you're ornery. She never likes it when I call her a cow. Who are you talking about, Palmetto? And hello, by the way. Hopefully that's not your wife you're talking about. Yeah, when your arm is up in there and they have a contraction, that they can really squeeze down on you. And sometimes your arm, lack of blood flow, you get those little pins and needles and it don't feel too good. Had to help with a kitten once. Oh, well. That one, you don't really have a lot of wiggle room to figure that one out. Oh, okay. You're kidding. Yeah, Palmetto. Most women wouldn't like to be called that. Although, okay, so my grandpa is very ornery as well. And so I don't know if you guys know this or not, but they age cows by their teeth. Okay. And last year I turned 30. And my grandpa, he goes, well, it looks like you're a broken mouth now. And that's, no, that's one of the oldest categorizations you can give a cow. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just a short solid. I said, next year when I'm 31, I'll be a broken mouth. And I think he was really trying to razz me, but I didn't let him do it. So apparently, to my grandpa now, I am a broken mouth. I'm old, apparently. So, yes, Karina, they love to calve when it's pouring down rain, when there's a blizzard, when there's tornado watches. They love to calve during those times, and it's just like, really? Why? Oh, Palmetto. Palmetto's wife had him in a headlock. Well, I would have too. Your keyboard keeps... okay. Bad weather might cause the animal anxiety and induce labor. Maybe, I don't know. I think it has to do. Oh, good Lord. Has to do more with the barometric pressure. Raylan, Michelle, that is unacceptable. Get down. You do not climb. Get down. All the way. Thank you. I don't want to see you up there no more. Just climbing on bookshelves. Yep, mother of many horses. Change in barometric pressure. That's usually the reason. And I've noticed moon phases too can kind of coincide with that too. Yes, Palmetto, that is how they know when bad weather is coming. The barometric pressure, they can sense it. The barometric pressure is affecting my keyboard. I don't know, Grizz. I think it's you that is affecting your keyboard. Does anybody have any questions? It is now 12 o'clock. missed everything, but you can watch the replay. We were talking about calving today, so this video might come in handy for you guys whenever Harriet decides to drop a calf. So, I go live every Monday from 11 to noon Eastern Standard Time. That is my time, and I was actually fixing to get to that. Today, Monday shows and every time that I mention is going to be Eastern Standard Time. From 8 to 9 tonight is Freedom Acres, and from 9 to 10 is Big Bear Homestead, and that's Robin with her essential oils. Jason's there too, usually. And that's what the lineup is for tonight. And then if you want to check out the entire list of Homestead Network channels, go to thehomesteadnetwork.com, and there's a complete list of all the channels and their show times. It ain't the vodka affecting my keyboard. Oh, goodness. We can sense it too. I think we're just too distracted to notice it most of the time. Probably Palmetto. I stay so busy that, you know, I listen to the weatherman. Be careful, please. Anyway. No, it's noon to 1. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Noon to 1 Eastern Standard Time. You are correct. I do apologize about that, guys. When I sent my reminders, it converts start time to my time zone. That's good. Oh, really? My grandpa, yes, my grandpa does notice when it's going to rain. Yeah, once you get arthritis, you will notice and pay attention to the weather changes before they happen. You will know. Yeah, thank you, Mother. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Yeah, Krista, sorry I missed Brad's show today. Me and Ray were out feeding, and I'm kind of on baby watch too. My sister is having her baby today. That's why I have baby Ray here with me. She's going to be a big sister for the first time to a little brother, and I'm rather excited. When I first came on, her water had just broke, so it's been an hour ago, and hopefully it progresses pretty quick after that. I think the weather affects the mood too. Yeah, sometimes. Ray, come here. Come here, please. Come here. Come here. Can you come here, please? We're going to have to say bye to everybody. Our live show is almost over. You've done a very good job being a good girl.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody. Ooh, I think you need a diaper change. You need a diaper change? Oh, careful. Pretty sure you do. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get off here, guys. And I hope you guys learned something today. And we'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.